Hey, and welcome back. It is the start of a new year, and the internet is exploding with vision boards, resolutions, and fresh starts. For some people, this feels super exciting and they love getting on board with all that stuff. But for a lot of people, it feels heavy and anxious and irritating, sometimes even angering and enraging. If that's you, I want you to lean in and I'm going to explain what I think is going on. I'm going to start with something we almost never name: performative living. This is where we learn to perform our lives instead of inhabit them. We grow up learning how to look right, how to act right, how to make the family look good. We watch our parents scream at us and then answer the phone in the kindest voice. Although I sometimes wonder, what does that look like this day and age? I should ask my kids because I'm never really talking on the phone anymore, but there's got to be some version of that for this generation. Anyway, just a random thought. Okay, so we're taught really early, like, don't say that, don't wear this, don't be rude, don't make bad grades, blah, blah, blah. And slowly, without realizing it, we learn something really, really dangerous. What matters most isn't how life feels, it's how life looks. And this gets passed down generation after generation. And honestly, the intention is usually good, generally, but the message becomes this: if your life looks good, then it is good. And then social media took that message and poured gasoline on it. So now we have these beautifully curated lives online and people who feel more empty, more disconnected, and more dead inside than ever. And instead of questioning their performance, we're starting to blame ourselves, or we blame our partners, our communities, our governments, and the world. In the first few decades of adulthood, most of us are captivated by the game. We work hard, we build careers, we build families, we sacrifice, and we tell ourselves, just a little more effort, just a little more time, then this will all be worth it. It'll all come together. Until one day, we realize something that can feel really devastating. There is no there. Life doesn't get simpler, it gets more complex. And the gap between who we perform as and who we actually are gets wider and wider and wider. It's like the Grand Canyon is between us. Most people know this gap exists, and a few people are standing in the middle of it thinking, well, if I stop performing, I'm going to completely disappear altogether. That fear makes sense. It's biological, it's mammalian. We do what we have to do to survive, and this is why the new year feels so heavy for so many people. So if you're starting to realize that you built a life brick by brick and you don't feel you inside any of it anywhere, then the thought of another year driven by effort and performance and goals and resolutions, then disappointment will show up in your body. Maybe not even necessarily your thoughts. Your thoughts might be, no, I need to do this, I need to do this. But your body is sending you signals: tight chest, headaches, exhaustion for no real reason, wanting to isolate. These aren't flaws, they're signals. Your body knows something your goals don't. Waking up in the reality that you're fully participating in a life that doesn't bring you joy or meaning is absolutely terrifying because the stakes feel so high. They are high. What if it's your job, your marriage, your religion, your community? And without a strong sense of self, because we weren't allowed to develop one, we believe if I stop performing, I will lose everything. And everything feels like identity because that's what we're taught our identity is: what we have and what we perform, not who we are. For some people, awakening comes through catastrophe: a divorce, a death, a job loss, being rejected or exiled from a community. It feels like the end of who you are. And maybe it is, but only the curated performative version. Others, they wake up more slowly through curiosity. Trauma doesn't wake us up by itself, but it often cracks the door open. So here we are, another new year. If the idea of making another list or goal fills you with dread or resentment, this is a signal that there is some element of your life that you're living that is not fully you. And I want to invite you to something different. I call it courageous living. Courageous living isn't about blowing up your life. It's about cutting the strings one by one of the marionette performance that you've been living your whole life. And if that scares you, good. The fear is honest because underneath it is something else, a very quiet whisper of hope. And that's what I want you to listen to. Listen, the road back to authenticity is really messy. It can be lonely, overwhelming, uncertain, but the longer you walk it, the stronger you become. You develop wisdom and clarity, a level of inner strength that can't be taken from you. This develops this unfuckableness, is what I call it, that is like a rite of passage into the world of authentic, courageous living. People will judge you, absolutely. They're going to be confused by you. They're going to try to pull you back into the performance. And it won't matter because you'll know who you are if you continue down this road. So if you're watching this and feeling that tightness in your chest, I want you to hear this. First, you're not alone. There's so many of us who are trying to figure this out. I don't have a checklist for you, but I do have an invitation to get curious. What part of your life are you in performance and what parts are actually you? You don't need the answers about what to do about that yet. You just need honesty first. Listen, judgment has no place here. There is no life that is too far gone. Freedom is really messy and it takes time. And yes, it's really hard, but in that process, you find yourself. And that's the whole point. So if this resonates with you, stay a while. 2026 is about courageous living, and your life is allowed to belong to you. I have a free guide for you called Finally at Peace. It's going to lay the foundation for some great first steps you can take into courageous living. I'll see you in the next episode.